family is living in their house. Next thing they know, the house gets sold out from under them. I'm Steve Kramer, the Kramer Law Firm. I'm a Florida foreclosure attorney. I had a client that had been making payments to the bank for over a year. They had originally had a little problem with making one payment back about 13 months before I saw them. And they called the bank, and the bank said everything was square, and they put them in a modification. And that's where you change the mortgage a little bit around so that it's a little bit more affordable for the family. So it reduced their mortgage payment a little bit. So these clients that came to see me had been making every single payment. They'd made every one by certified check. And the whole while they're doing this, there was a foreclosure lawsuit that was served against them. They'd been sued for foreclosure, and they called the bank and they said, "Hey bank, we're making the payments to you. What's going on here?" And the bank said, "Don't worry about that." And they kept on going, they kept on making the payments month after month. And then they got another notice. It said, notice of hearing. And they called the bank and the bank said, "Don't worry about that, that's fine. We got it taken care of. You're making your payments, you are fine, nothing is going to happen." And they kept on making these payments. And then they got another notice of a hearing, and they called up the bank and they said, "What's going on here?" And the bank said, "Don't worry about it, our lawyers are taking care of it, you're making your payments, we've gotten every one, you're in a modification, and this thing is done." They came to see us after they'd gotten the notice their house had been sold. And they didn't know what was happening, they didn't get any notice of the sale itself. And I had to tell them, you could be thrown out of your house anytime in the next 24 hours essentially, once the certificate of title issues. And that's actually after the sale, 10 days afterwards, there's issuance of a certificate of title, and that's when the ownership actually changes. And after that point, they could have been evicted in 24 hours. So immediately they hired our firm and we went to work for them. And what we did was, we went in there, we got copies of all the checks, we filed them with the court, and we filed a motion to vacate the sale. And we went to a hearing on that, and we won it. But I can tell you that the days between the day that they hired us and the day that we got to that hearing were some of the most stressful in their life. And the thing is, it wasn't a guarantee. Even though you and I know what should have happened and the right thing that should happen, doesn't mean it was necessarily going to happen. So then we vacated the sale, which is where we canceled the sale, and then we vacated the default. The actual judgment entered against them, and we got them back all the way to the beginning of their case so they could start fresh. And then we started defending just like the day they'd been served with a lawsuit. We were able to defend from there, and within a couple of months the case was closed, they were done, they had their house, and they walked away very happy. And that was one of the most important foreclosure experiences with a client that we've ever had. Why am I telling you this? Because you may be having these conversations with the bank. You may be making payments and wondering what's going on. Why am I getting these notices? Why do I see this paperwork that says there's a lawsuit when I'm making payments? If so, I have the answers for you. I deal with this every day, and I'd be glad to talk with you. Call me at the number below, and I'd be glad to talk with you. Also, if you're watching this video on Facebook or YouTube, click the like button below. This way you can share this story with other people so that they can share these experiences and learn from them. I'm Steve Kramer, the Kramer Law Firm. Thank you for watching.